We're back on the Business Pros Radio Hour on Global News Radio, 640 Toronto. I am here with the president of TrainingBusinessPros.com, Paul Toby. And Paul, you said we're going to be talking this segment about a hack. We hear about this stuff all the time. If it's Uber or Equifax, people's personal information being lost. And what's this story you're going to tell us about?
Well, if you're sticking around from the last section because you're curious, this is the most curious and yet most egregious breach of security that I've ever personally experienced. Okay. And this could be happening to you at any time because this was happening to this company and nobody noticed it. We weren't responsible for monitoring their website. That's their internal processes. Apparently they have somebody who they hire who comes in part-time, looks after their internal servers and their website servers and that kind of stuff. We don't even host their website. So this was not really anything to do with us. But what happened is I was running their AdWords our company was running their AdWords campaigns, and I had spoken to a guy in the company the day before, and I went online to our subdomains, which we actually host, which is just for paid search. Okay. Has nothing to do with the website. It's completely separate server. As I'm in there, I went to their website to kind of check out a few things, the site that's not being hosted by us, and it immediately taxed 100% of my CPU resources. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that means your computer has a central processing unit, and it's almost impossible. I've never seen this before. It's not impossible because it happened. Yeah. If you go to this website, anybody that went to this website, it would immediately tax 100% of your CPU, meaning that any background processes that you're having, any foreground processes, it immediately grinds to a halt. Yeah. So my computer just froze.
Oh, man.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
And it would take 10 seconds to unfreeze, and then it would freeze for another 10 seconds. And I'm like, what is this? And so I opened up my CPU resource monitor, and I saw that the line was running at 100%. I shut my computer down, rebooted it, went back to work. Minute I opened their website, boom, 100% of my resources were being utilized again. So it had nothing to do with me and everything to do with their website. So how did this happen? And I actually verified it on everybody's computer in the office, so I knew there was a problem here. And we did some research. Did you hear recently about a Russian worker who was using a nuclear supercomputer to mine Bitcoin?
Okay.
Do you remember hearing this story?
I believe
it was
I did.
International news where this guy was using this nuclear supercomputer to basically mine Bitcoin. A little bit of history on Bitcoin. People don't know. A lot of people are like, well, it's very expensive and I can't have any. Well, what actually is it? Bitcoin is actually a reward for mining, just like mining gold. Right. This, very cryptic guy named Satoshi Nakamoto, who is essentially the inventor of Bitcoin. It's not his real name. It could be even a group of people. We don't really know. It's all kind of hush-hush. All right. They basically placed Bitcoin all over over the World Wide Web, and it takes a tremendous amount of algorithmic computing power to mine it. Does that make sense? Yep. So you need a nuclear supercomputer. Ugh. And what had happened to this website was it's using my computer and anybody's computer that was connected to the website to tackle these tremendously complicated algorithmic processes to mine Bitcoin. Wow. That is super cool if you think about it, but it's also extremely illegal. Right. And because they're using a website and its resources to use home computers, work computers, to basically go through these processes. If somebody leaves the website, it stops the computing process there and picks up when somebody else joins the website. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Isn't that unbelievable? Yeah. And we noticed this, and we contact the company and we go through this whole rigmarole and whatever, and we essentially removed it. But here's what companies need to know. Your website and all of your online resources are very important to the state of your company. That's how people react to you, find you online. It's how they perceive you. It's often the first point of contact with people who don't know your company is. If your site is down or doing things like this, that's a tremendous detriment to your company. So you need systems and processes and cyber security protocol. And if you don't know how to do this, we'll get you some help with this. But give me a call or just say in your email to paul@trainingbusinesspros.com you want the digital marketing cheat sheet, include a message about how do I start this cybersecurity process. you got to do this because this company is a multi-million-dollar company. They had no idea that this was happening.
Yeah, that's not good. And when people find out about stuff like this, they'll just avoid your company. Well, I don't want to take any chances. I'm just not going to this site.
And imagine how Google reacted to this.
Right.
Because Google's rank brain algorithm is all about user experience. Well, user experience is zero because as soon as people get to the website, it shuts down their resources.
Wow.
And they were experiencing problems on their company computers because a lot of those people that work in the company were on the website. And they were wondering why their computers were all running slow. And the IT guy said, oh, it's not a problem.
One more reason to call trainingbusinesspros.com. That number, 416-444-7767. That's 444-PROS. If you want that digital marketing cheat sheet, email Paul at trainingbusinesspros.com. It's the Business Pros Radio Hour on Global News Radio, 640 Toronto.